It has arrived. Star Wars Unlimited has reached one of the greatest Star Wars eras. The Clone Wars have begun, and the Force has never been stronger than it is with this set. It is chock full of some of the most famous characters in Star Wars, including many fan favourites from both the prequel films and animated Clone Wars shows. We're talking Obi-Wan Kenobi, Mullet Edition, Anakin Skywalker, Ahsoka and Captain Rex as they face off against their dark, separatist rivals, such as Count Dooku, his Sith assassin Ventress, and General Grievous. And I finally have the pleasure of playing my favourite character of all time as a commander. Formerly Darth, now just Maul, rival in darkness. Just based on the roster alone, this set has been propelled into the limelight, and rightfully so. Both the Republic's clone armies and the battle droids of the Separatists are out in full force. Importantly though, there's a beautiful mix of simple, effective commanders and more complex thematic mechanics as well. A fine example is Count Dooku, who is able to grant Separatist units the Exploit special rule, allowing you to sacrifice units to discount the costs of cards, getting larger units out earlier, especially once he enters the fray himself, allowing an exchange of 3 feeble battle droids for a discount of 6 resources on a major unit. Twice the pride, double the fall. Obi-Wan and Anakin are perfectly thematic, the former healing his units and defending them with Sentinel when he enters combat in a classic sword and shield maneuver, and the latter, who grows angrier and more vengeful the more damage your base sustains, overwhelming enemy units. None are more mechanically exciting though than Chancellor Palpatine, playing both sides, a completely new and unique commander that constantly flips back and forth between his heroic Republic political facade and the dark, villainous puppeteer beneath, never truly showing himself on the battlefield, but instead manipulating both heroes and villains from behind the scenes. All in all, this set has been best in class for characters and commander mechanics, though there may still be a dud or two. This entire set is fantastic and introduces a couple of new core mechanics. Besides pumping out clone tokens, the Republic utilises teamwork in the form of Coordinate, allowing special rules to activate if you have 3 or more units on the board. Take for example Aayla Secura, who when properly supported by her allies becomes invulnerable to damage on the attack, or fan favourite Plo Koon, who is able to ambush an opponent with a buffed attack when supported by his beloved troops. Opposing the clones are the battle droids and their dark masters, who exploit them, sacrificing them to play discounted units earlier, or in the case of Dooku himself, to enter early and use the sacrifices to remove or damage enemy units. Outside of the core themes are all sorts of fun minigames and thematic card combinations, such as General Grievous, who collects lightsabers and becomes unstoppable when he has 4. My personal favourite is Darth Maul, who is the only unit in the game who can simultaneously fight 2 different units at the same time, referencing the Duel of the Fates. This set is, in my opinion, a home run, particularly when compared to the last set, Shadows of the Galaxy, which had some nice ideas but ultimately felt quite weak and fell quite flat. One particular thing I like is the strength of the set is in the synergies between cards, but the actual legendaries are not that strong on their own. One of my criticisms of Star Wars Unlimited is that the art is very inconsistent. Much of the art lets the game down, in fact. This set is still far from perfect, but generally feels more consistent than a few previous ones. A few of the showcase cards are a little bit uninspiring as well, but there are a few cards in the set that really pop. Given the rumours that FFG are looking at collector booster type products for the future, they will really need to up their game to justify what will naturally be premium prices. I'd love to give a special credit though to Amelie Hutt, whose art is consistently on top in this game. Their art is incredible, and I shall be watching their career with great interest. It's too early to say how the overall meta will change. A couple of older archetypes got new cards, like the new legendary Cad Bane unit, which will be very strong in bounty hunter decks from the last set. Most of the new mechanics are quite isolated from previous sets though, such as exploit largely being separatist only. However, many of the new game plans introduced with the set feel like they weaken the control archetype. Going wide with tokens and cards like Shadowed Intentions make removal less effective, and it's possible that full aggro decks will also be hurt here. This set could be the introduction of a true mid-range meta, and I certainly hope so. I would mention though that a few of the commanders certainly offer new opportunities for older cards, especially ones with more generic effects like Anakin and Maul. The banning of Set 1 Boba Fett has also greatly healed constructed play. Having played several pre-release events, I'd say that the limited format feels good in this set. The cards lend themselves to slower games already, and the commanders are almost all viable. It's nice that someone pulling a legendary won't give them that big of an edge in this set, but I would also say that it's slim pickings just in terms of reaching 30 cards sometimes. Perhaps Sealed could use an extra pack or two. In conclusion, this set is the best one so far. The commanders are excellent, tons of fan favourite characters made it in, and their mechanics are thematically excellent. The power level feels perfect without relying on expensive, overpowered legendary cards. The art has improved slightly over previous set, and playing the game feels much more exciting now than it did after the release of the previous set. This might be the single best time to hop in and start playing Star Wars Unlimited. If you enjoyed this video or you're interested in seeing more, consider liking, subscribing and hitting the little bell icon so that YouTube lets you know when I upload. Any interaction is much appreciated, and I'd love to discuss the game with you in the comments. Thank you very much for your time and attention.